Welcome to ERi-TV English News Broadcast. We are ready for domestic and international report for February 24th, 2026. And we invite you to stay with us up until the end. To begin with, I present you the top stories. Minister Osman Saleh addresses Human Rights Council session. Commendable vaccination coverage in Foro subzone. In our international, China urged the U.S. to scrap all tariffs. And Greenland rejects Trump's offer to send U.S. hospital ship. To begin with, Mr. Osman Saleh, Minister of Foreign Affairs, virtually addressed the high-level segment of the 61st session of the Human Rights Council today, 24th February. In his statement, Minister Osman Saleh said that although the Human Rights Council bears a distinct and significant responsibility for promoting universal respect for the protection of all human rights and fundamental freedoms, it has not consistently fulfilled this responsibility. Minister Osman went on to state that at times the Council's work has been diverted to serve narrow political interests rather than the universal principles it was established to uphold, and emphasized that this trajectory must be reversed. He noted that the continued erosion of trust among states and the weakening commitment to multilateral cooperation, if left unaddressed, would be difficult to repair. Minister Osman stressed that the very existence of Eritrea is rooted in the aspiration of its people to chart their own future, free from external intervention, and to shoulder the responsibility of nation building in pursuit of an equitable society. Eritrea's vision, he underlined, is firmly committed to building a prosperous and self-reliant nation in which fundamental rights and freedoms, including the right to development, are promoted, protected, and respected. Concluding his remarks, Minister Osman said that Eritrea reaffirms with unwavering conviction its commitment to constructive engagement with the Council and its members, with the aim of fostering a long-term and genuine partnership in the spirit of mutual respect for sovereignty and development. In another news, Nurse Maharik Al-Ab, head of health facilities in the Foro subzone, reported that vaccination coverage in the subzone has reached 95%. Nurse Mahari went on to say that the achievement is the result of growing public awareness, noting that the death rate and disabilities among children due to various communicable diseases have been significantly reduced. Nurse Mahari also stated that the utilization of maternity rooms by pregnant women increased by 2.8% in 2025. The number of pregnant women giving birth at health facilities rose by 4%, and the prevalence of malaria declined by 2.5%. Indicating that strong efforts are being exerted to control communicable diseases, Nurse Mahari called on residents to strengthen their participation in environmental sanitation and other preventive activities. In a related news, the National Union of Eritrean Women branch in the Southern Red Sea region, in collaboration with partners, organized a seminar in the port city of Asab aimed at enhancing members' understanding of the prevention and control of communicable and non-communicable diseases. At the seminar, which was conducted from 17 to 19 February, extensive briefings were provided focusing on the causes and consequences of HIV/AIDS and malaria, as well as measures that should be taken to control their prevalence. Speaking at the event, Ms. Saadiya Ibrahim, head of the union branch in the region, called on members to strengthen their participation in efforts to control communicable and non-communicable diseases. The participants on their part noted the significance of the seminar in safeguarding their health and that of their families and called for the sustainability of such initiatives. Moving on, members of the Association of the First Round of National Service and the National Security Agency voluntarily donated 86 units of blood on 22 and 23 February. Ms. Ruta Walda-Mikhael, one of the program coordinators of the association, said that the blood donation was a continuation of their quarterly initiative and that this marked the 6th round of donation. The participants expressing satisfaction in voluntarily donating blood to help save lives with their renewable blood called on other associations and institutions to follow the noble initiative and contribute to strengthening the blood supply of the National Blood Transfusion Service. According to a report from the National Blood Transfusion Service, voluntary blood donation at both individual and group levels continues to grow as public awareness and interests increase. Do stay tuned, dear viewers, for we shall be back with the international news after the short break. Welcome back. Now, the global arena, China has urged the U.S. to cancel the unilateral tariffs imposed by President Donald Trump following a U.S. Supreme Court ruling that effectively struck down most of the measures. Trump imposed the tariffs on many trading partners early last year, accusing them of unfair trade practices. Most faced an universal 10% baseline tariff with additional surcharges for trade large imbalances. Late last week, however, the Supreme Court ruled Trump lacked authority to impose tariffs under the 1977 International Emergency Economic Powers Act, effectively voiding most of the measures. In a statement on Monday, the Chinese Commerce Ministry urged Washington to lift the tariffs, arguing they now violate both international trade rules and even U.S. domestic law. U.S.-China relations have been strained for years, particularly over economic and technological issues. U.S. tariffs on Chinese goods at one point reached 145%, while Chinese tariffs on U.S. goods hit 125%. In November, a one-year pause in tit-for-tat escalations was reached, under which both sides cut tariffs to around 10% in some sectors. A comprehensive trade deal is reportedly expected to be discussed during Trump's state visit to Beijing in late March. Meanwhile, Greenland has rejected U.S. President Donald Trump's plan to send a hospital ship to the Arctic island after he repeatedly threatened to seize the Danish autonomous territory for national security reasons. Prime Minister Jan Fredrik Nielsen said in a post on Facebook that Trump's proposal to send the U.S. medical vessel had been, to quote-unquote, noted. He further stated that they have a public healthcare system where treatment is free for citizens, reiterating Greenland remained open to dialogue and cooperation. On Saturday, Trump said in a post on his Truth Social account that the medical vessel was on its way to Greenland to treat those being medically neglected. The historically strong bilateral ties after World War II between NATO allies Denmark and the United States have come under severe strain in recent months as Trump intensified talks of a possible U.S. takeover of the mineral-rich and strategically located Arctic island. With this, we conclude our domestic and international report for this session, dear viewers. And now, once again, the top stories. Minister Osman Saleh addresses Human Rights Council session. Commendable vaccination coverage in Foro subzone. In our international, China urged the U.S. to scrap all tariffs. And Greenland rejects Trump's offer to send U.S. hospital ship. This was the World on Tuesday with ERi-TV English news broadcast. Dear viewers, from all of us here, thank you for watching. Join us again on our tomorrow's broadcast. Until then, stay well.